Hey, my name is James Leith. Thank you so much for watching this video. Complexity or confidence? You can have one or the other, especially in youth sports. I've been coaching for many years, and I have found that the more simple that you keep the playbook, the more simple you keep your list of rules, the easier it is for the kids to respond in a positive manner. For example, I was coaching sixth grade football at Soroyan Elementary years ago. It was like 2009. And we were doing really well. About four games into the season, we're beating this team, and we were beating them pretty well. I took out all my starters before the first half was even over. And after the game, the head coach from the other team came up to me and he said, "Hey, I got a real kind of weird question for you." I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" He goes, "Will you share with me your playbook?" I was like, "Absolutely. Like, why not?" So I literally like pulled this out of my back pocket, and I was like, "Here you go. This is it." And on there, you saw 8 plays and 1 formation. And he was kind of blown away. He's like, "There's no way. There's no way that you only have 8 plays." I said, "No, really. We only have 8 plays." And then for the rest of the season, all the way through the championship, we only had 8 plays. Here's what happened though, is that when I would call a timeout, I would run out onto the field. And because they knew those 8 plays so well, I could say, "Hey, you go do this other thing. Everybody else do the play exactly the same. And you do this other thing. Ready? Good, cool." Or even better, this was so much fun. I would be on the sideline and I would be like, "Check, check." And then you'd have all 11 players would like look over at me like this. And I'd be like, "Right, sweep right." And then they would tap their head, boom, and then they would run the play. What was great about that is, some coaches would be like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you just gave away the play." It's like, oh, you got to remember who you're playing against. I've got 6th grade boys and some girls on my team. And when I said right, sweep right, my players went to the right. The defense hears that and goes, "They're going right," and literally take themselves out of the play because their right is our left. Now in the second half, it changes up a little bit. They get a little smarter and stuff, so you got to be more creative. But I would do that at least once a game. We also practiced it. But they knew those plays so well that they could run them with efficiency, even if the other team knew that it was coming. That's the point. And so when it comes to creating confident athletes, think about the cognitive load that you're putting on your athletes. An athlete that has to think real quick before they make a decision is hesitating, and then they end up being in a bad position or they end up missing the play. So my encouragement to you is to think about what can you strip down from the playbook and what can you focus more on your personnel. Focus more on your athletes. I'm always saying you should spend more time studying your athletes and getting to know your athletes than creating a playbook or installing a new offense. Now it's football season when I'm releasing this note, so a lot of ideas go towards football. Basketball, it's the same situation when you're dealing with younger athletes. Now, the older the athletes get, totally get it. Playbook needs to be more complex, but the athletes are more complex. And so in basketball, I remember one year I was coaching 6th grade girls basketball, and I had a point guard. Her name was Tasha. She was excellent at naming cities. You yell out a state, boom, she'd tell you the city. So I told her, "Hey, this coach is going to try to figure out our offense. So what I want you to do is when you're running down the court, just stick your fingers up in the air, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, yell out your favorite city, and then just, do your thing." So after the game, and we won that game, after the game, the other coach comes up. He's like, "Man, I charted 12 plays that you guys run, and I just had to laugh." And he's like, "What are you laughing at?" I said, "I don't have any plays. I teach them the fundamentals of basketball, and I encourage them to just go out there and have fun." He goes, "She was yelling cities all left and right." And I was like, "I know, she loves cities. That was really just for her. It had nothing to do with what we were doing." And so we had a good laugh. Well, I had a good laugh at it. He didn't think it was that funny because he missed the whole game by charting all this stuff. So keep your playbook simple and allow the kids to fully understand what they're doing, why they're doing it, and then let them go out there and have fun.